to explain to Nigerians about the activities of INEC, which is very important to our democratic process. I must also, on behalf of the Director General and management of the National Broadcasting Commission, commend the management of Dar Communication, particularly the Executive Chairman Emeritus, the Group MD, and our Acting Executive Director News, for their unwavering commitment to promote professionalism and strict adherence to ethical standards, which I believe informs the decision to organize this training. The unique nature of broadcasting makes it the most accessible and appealing. It's an appealing platform for participatory communication and development. There is therefore a very strong relationship between media performance and the conduct and vibrancy of politics and political activities in democracies. While politics serves as a route and means of uplifting the society through good governance, the media creates an enabling environment for democracy to thrive. It operates within the prevailing environment to engage in expanding the frontiers of freedom and affording the citizens access to quality information. This information influences them in making informed decisions for sustainable democracy. The existence of a vibrant media, therefore, is quite fundamental to the enthronement and sustenance of a credible democratic process. The functions of broadcasting to our democratic process are enormous. The media strive to promote political awareness amongst the people, inculcating them the spirit of tolerance of all shades of opinion, thereby promoting social justice based on the responsibilities and rights of the electorate. It is the duty of the media, therefore, to act as watchdog to ensure a credible electoral process. I therefore wish to remind you to act as peace builders by being fair, balanced, and professional in the coverage of the coming election. This is done effectively by adhering to the provisions of the Nigeria Broadcasting Code on political broadcasts. In the coverage of the coming election in Kogi State, because I believe the people here are the ones covering Kogi State alone, I implore operatives to use Dar Communication as platform for all shades of opinion, for all candidates and their political parties, and to also provide a platform for peaceful interface among candidates. Please note that the broadcast media can be a tool for fanning violence, hate speech, and conflict. This is because of its universality, instantaneousness, and accessibility. In view of this, I advise that you focus on issues that promote peaceful coexistence. Ensure that all political broadcasts are delivered in decent language and abide by the fairness doctrine. This is just a goodwill message, and I don't want to bore you with the relevant provisions of the code on political broadcasts, but I'm sure many of you are experienced in our political system and our political processes, and you know the provisions of the code regarding political broadcast. However, the 6th edition of the Nigeria Broadcasting Code is available. We implore management to get copies for those going for this election. Section 5.3 of the Nigeria Broadcasting Code, 6th edition, deal on political broadcasts. Particularly, I want us to look at 5.33J, K and L, and I will read it out. J says, ensure, because we observed during the last election, the 2019 election, in February, March, that the issues we had with broadcasters arose from use of political symbols, logos, and all that within the 24-hour period for non-campaigns. And it is based on the electoral law. J says that the broadcaster shall ensure that the broadcast of a partisan political campaign, jingle, announcement, and any other form of partisan political identification or symbol ends not later than 24 hours before polling day. Many of you will be reporting on the election. And you know that politicians, they go to even the polling units, they go there with their political logos. Some of them wear, they even sew agbada with party logo and insignia. So it is your duty to know that such party logos and identifications cannot be shown or mentioned while you are reporting election activities. In the process of announcing maybe what transpires in some units, sometimes the camera may stray. Please be mindful of this, because if our monitoring officers notice anything that has to do with any political symbol on air, the station will be liable. K says, not use any vote obtained at a polling station or from an exit poll to project or speculate on the chances of a candidate. We have had cases in the past where reporters, out of excitement, maybe they are happy for a particular candidate, they just say, I'm at unit D, and from that unit, the votes have been counted, and the so and so candidate is leading by this number of votes. Announcement of results can only be made by an authorized INEC personnel. That brings me to L, which says, relay election results or declaration of the winner only as announced by the authorized electoral officer for the election. So please, let's be mindful of that section also. But you have the code as a document for broadcasters in Nigeria. And I will advise that you use the time you have between now and when you will move to Kogi State to study the provisions of the code regarding political broadcast in Section 5 of the code. In conclusion, I must state that the upcoming election in Kogi State is of interest to me personally. This is because I'm a citizen of Kogi State. May I advise the National Electoral Commission also to strive to entrench discipline, fairness, and credibility, so that at the end of the day, Kogi and Bayelsa elections could be tagged as pilot for credible elections in Nigeria. Thank you very much.